angle this round. Hi Simon. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. The way to find that is to feel around, find your hip bones, point your fingers down, and ideally you want your big toe to be just underneath where you're pointing, so just underneath the hip bones. We want the weight equally distributed between the big toe, the outside of our foot, and our heels. If you're the sort of person that's able to have nice straight legs without creating a load of tension by locking your knees, then good for you. Otherwise, if you're like me, you can have your knees slightly bent. That's absolutely fine. So we want to imagine we've got a string coming out of the top of our head as if we were a marionette puppet, and hopefully that will help us to elongate our spine, so we've got a nice long neck, shoulders down, arms by our sides. If you were to bend your elbows, they'd bend out that way as opposed to holding your arms like this. So we're just going to swing from our hips, and we're not going to move our arms, we're just going to, you can come and do it if you want to. So come forward. So check there's nothing you can crash into. And we're just gonna, so this is my mum by the way. So we're not gonna move our arms, we're just gonna allow them to sort of swing with the momentum. So, have you got enough room there? Yep. Why don't you step forward and you do it and I'll explain. So, if you try and just relax your arms a little bit, so that, because I can see that you're actually moving them. So you just want to swing from your hips and just allow your arms to just sort of flap round. Try and relax your shoulders a little bit. Very good. So just see if you can just allow your arms to just swing without moving them. So just completely relaxed. Okay, very good. And just shake it out, everybody. That comment. Oh, somebody said they loved Rachel's story. This is the author of Rachel's story. Ta-da! Okay, so we're gonna get back to standing with our feet hip distance apart. And now we're gonna turn our attention to our breathing. So we're gonna push with our diaphragm. So if you don't know, your diaphragm is just underneath your bottom ribs, so you can kind of feel around, find your rib cage, and it's like a big sort of tarpaulin shaped muscle that's just sort of underneath your rib cage, and that's the muscle we use to breathe. The way I want us to be harnessing the power of our diaphragm today is by pushing upwards to squeeze the air out of our lungs, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and just allowing the air to flood back in. So we're just going to bend and straighten our legs. Oh, actually, so in a minute we'll add the arm movements that will reflect what's happening inside. So we'll bring our hands up as we breathe out to represent the diaphragm pushing the air out of our lungs. Then when we drop our diaphragm, when we relax and drop, we'll drop our hands down and then we'll bring them up, which represents the rib cage expanding as our lungs fill with air. So first we're just going to get into the rhythm. We're going to bend and straighten our legs. So I don't want any jerky movements, just nice and smooth. And every breath is always going to be on the up. So it will be like, and out, and in, and push with the diaphragm, and relax and drop, and now we'll add the arm movements on the next one. So, and out and in. And we'll go to the side on the next one. Very good. And shake it out. Okay, so we're going to get back into our comfortable position. Now is the time, if you want to sit down, that you can. So I'll still talk you through, before you sit down, I'll still talk you through how you're going to get to that position. So we're still going to stand in the correct position, feet hip distance apart, weight equally distributed between the big toe, the outside of your foot and your heel. Knees nice and loose, nice long neck, nice long spine, shoulders down. So then now if you're going to sit down, hopefully you would have your chair in the right place, and you're just going to bend your knees to actually sit in the chair. So I don't know if you want to sit down, but so the point is that you kind of, before you just sort of plonk yourself down, you get into the correct standing position, and then you just sort of bend your knees down to sit in the chair so that everything is still in a good position. So I want you to find a spot on the wall which is roughly your own eye height. Ideally, if you're able to do these exercises looking in a mirror, and then you can just look into your own eyes, that's the perfect height, obviously. That's also good because then as and when any bad habits creep in, like if you raise your shoulders or stand on one side, like whatever your little bad habits are, you notice them more quickly if you're looking in the mirror. Whereas if you're just using your mind to think about it, sometimes you're in the wrong position for quite a long time before you realise it. So don't worry if you don't have a mirror. We're still going to just try and look into our own sort of eye level, so that way obviously we don't have to affect our posture by looking up or down. And we're just going to channel the air to the spot that we're looking at, something like this. And whilst you're doing that, what I really want you to be thinking about is the diaphragm pushing as you squeeze the air out of your lungs. Then when you get to the end of the breath, I want you to just try and push a little bit more, because there's almost always a little bit more air in your lungs than you realise. So then when you finally get to the end of your breath, I want you to hold it. Hold. Then, instead of taking an in-breath, like actively taking in an in-breath, I want you to just relax, drop the diaphragm, and just allow the air to flood back in. And then we're going to repeat. So start whenever you're ready. If you're the sort of person that is able to picture things in your mind's eye, then that's excellent. I want you to try and imagine the diaphragm as it's pushing, squeezing the air out of your lungs, and then pushing a bit more, then holding, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm, allowing the air to flood back in. If you're a little bit squeamish about sort of internal parts, then if you want to imagine that your lungs are balloons, or like a bottle, if you squeeze it and then when you let go it fills back up. Whatever sort of imagery works for you. If you can't picture it in your mind, that's absolutely fine. Just whatever works for you, but I just want you to really be concentrating and really thinking about squeezing the lungs, pushing with your diaphragm, squeezing the air out, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and allowing the air to flood back in. I feel like I'm being a little bit out of stage. Okay, so very good. When you get to the end of whatever breath you're currently on, we're going to switch to a shh sound. Same thing, pushing with your diaphragm, squeezing the air out of your lungs. Then when you get to the end, push a little bit more, then hold it, hold. Then relax. Drop the diaphragm, allow the air to flood back in. And also I just want to say, we are stretching, so it's okay to be out of your comfort zone, but if anything hurts or feels uncomfortable, then, be more gentle or just stop and sit this exercise out. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Shh. the end of whatever breath you're currently on, and then just shake it out. Nice big yawn and a stretch. Very good. So that feeling when your throat's nice and open like that when you're yawning, that's a very good feeling to remember for when you're singing. Some people can just sort of do it naturally. Some people find it very difficult to sort of play around with what's happening inside their throat whilst they're singing or speaking. But if you can, try and remember that sort of nice open feeling that your throat has when you yawn. That's a good position for singing. Okay, so I want you to just get back into your comfortable position. Nice straight back, nice long neck, everything nice and relaxed. The idea is we don't want to be using any muscles that we don't need to be. And now I just want you to breathe. Normally you can breathe through your nose, your mouth, combination of the two, however you, whatever's comfortable, and just get into your own rhythm. You don't have to hold it or anything like this. But what I do want you to be focusing on, again, and if you can picture it in your mind, is the diaphragm as it pushes to squeeze the air out of your lungs and then relaxes to drop down and allow the air to flood back in. So if you find your spot so that your head's in the right place, and then close your eyes, and you're just going to breathe in your natural rhythm, however it is, but all the while you're pushing with the diaphragm, squeezing the air out of your lungs, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and just allowing the air to flood back in. Now I want you to listen to whatever sounds you can hear outside the room that you're in. So there might be cars driving past, there might be birds tweeting, it might be completely silent, then you're going to listen to that silence, but all the while you're going to push with your diaphragm, squeeze the air out of your lungs, then relax, drop the diaphragm and just allow the air to flood back in. Now I want you to take a step closer with your mind's eye, and you're going to listen to whatever you can hear inside the room that you're in. So there might be a clock ticking, there might be your mum playing with a puppy, it might be completely silent in the room that you're in, and then you're going to listen to that silence. And there might be other sounds that you can hear, and other thoughts and things going on inside your head, but you can't block them completely, but you know, you're just not going to listen to them. You're just going to concentrate on whatever you can hear inside the room that you're in. And all the while you're going to push with your diaphragm to squeeze the air out of your lungs, then relax, drop the diaphragm, just allow the air to flood back in. Very good. So now I want you to take another step closer with your mind's eye, and now I want you to listen to your own body. So you might be able to hear your heart beating, you might be able to hear yourself breathing, you might be completely silent, then you're going to listen to that silence, and all the while you're going to push with the diaphragm to squeeze the air out of your lungs, then you're going to relax, drop the diaphragm and just allow the air to flood back in. So now I want you to put those three things together. I want you to listen to your own body. I want you to listen to the room that you're in. And I want you to listen to the world beyond the room that you're in. And I want you to feel the connection between all those things and feel yourself present in this moment, all the while pushing with your diaphragm to squeeze the air out of your lungs. Then relax, drop the diaphragm and just allow the air to flood back in. Very good. Okay, so in your own time, I want you to just slowly open your eyes, take a little look around, feel yourself in the space. Well done everybody, excellent session. It was a slightly shorter session today, but we'll finish really quickly with a little sing-along. So I've got a link to the lyrics in the description, so I'll just give you a sec to find that, and I'll just take this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again on Tuesday, so hopefully I will see you then. And in the meantime, Bobby's just sad because Phil left the room. Okay, let's just sing. So whilst we're singing, I want us to remember to try and push with our diaphragm to squeeze the air out of our lungs, and then relax, drop the diaphragm, and just allow the air to flood back in. Oh, thank you, Simon. Okay. If you wanna leave, I won't beg you to stay. And if you gotta go, darling, maybe it's better that way. I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about this heart of mine. But don't turn around, 'cause you gotta see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want you seeing me cry. Just walk away, tear me apart that you're leaving. I'm letting you go, but I won't let you know. I won't miss your arms around me, holding me tight. And if you ever think about me, just know I'll be alright. I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about this heart of mine. Don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want you seeing me cry. Just walk away, tear me apart that you're leaving. I'm letting you go, but I won't let you know. Don't turn around. Thank you very much. Have a great Friday and have a great weekend. And keep breathing. Lots of love. Bye.